Algebra 1, 5-4, solving compound inequalities. So compound inequalities, what we're talking about here is if we have two inequalities being considered together. So let's do an example. Let's see what we're talking about here. I've got x is greater than or equal to 3. And the graph of that would look something like this. I've got 0, I've got 3, I've got 3 is included, x is greater than 3, so I have my arrow going off to the right. Now here's another one, x is less than 7. So I might have 0, maybe I should do these similarly. So here's 7, and then I have an open circle at 7, and I shade to the left, x is less than 7. Now, I might have 3 is less than or equal to x. Notice how these are the same, I just wrote them the reverse way. Is less than 7. Now I've got x between these two numbers. And so now I've got 0, and I've got 3, and I've got 7. 3 is included, and I'm shading to the right because x is greater than it. 7 is not included, and x is less than this. So here I have my graph of what this would look like. You might also see this as x is greater than or equal to 3 and x is less than 7. So that's another way you might see it. These are the same thing here. All right, let's do an example. -2 is less than or equal to x minus 3 is less than 4. Now we're going to solve this one way, and then I'm going to show you how to solve it another way. So there are two different ways to solve this inequality. So let's do this way. Here's one way. This one is maybe the cleanest and easiest way. For this one, I'm going to just separate out two different inequalities. -2 is less than or equal to x minus 3, and x minus 3 is less than 4. So I've just taken this here and put it down here, and I've taken this here and put it down here. So I've just set up two inequalities. Now I'm going to solve this. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I get 1 is less than or equal to x. I'm going to add 3 to both sides of this one. X is less than 7. So I might rewrite this as 1 is less than or equal to x is less than 7. And then I'm going to graph it. Here's 0, here's 1, and here's 7. And 1 is included, 7 is not. X is greater than 1, is less than 7, and then I shade in there between there. Now, this is a perfectly fine way to do this. Let me show you another way that you might like better, or you might not. You can do it either way. Now, for this one, I see that x minus 3 is here in the middle. I want to add 3 to make x by itself. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other sides. So I need to add 3 to here, and I need to add 3 to here. To each expression, I need to add 3. So whatever I do to one expression, I need to do to the other ones. So -2 and +3 is 1, less than or equal to x, and that would be 7. So either way you want to do it. This one is a little bit more work, but this one is very easy to forget to add, to do everything to every expression. So this one might be a little bit faster, It may be slicker, but it's easier to make a mistake, I would say. So either one. Okay, you're going to try 2. You try 6 is less than or equal to r plus 7 is less than 10. And negative 11 is less than or equal to y minus 3 is less than or equal to negative 8. All right, do those two, and let's make sure you solve them and graph them. All right, go ahead and do that work, and pause and go. Okay, I'm going to do this one here with this method. So I'm going to subtract 7 from this inside. So what I do to one expression, I have to do to all of the expressions. So I'm going to subtract 7 from everything. I've got negative 1 is less than or equal to r, which is less than 3. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to find negative 1. And here's 0. And here is 3. Negative 1 is included. 3 is not included. R is less than 3. R is greater than negative 1. So I shade right there in the middle. All right, let's solve this one the other way. The first way. 11 greater than, less than or equal to y minus 3, and y minus 3 is less than or equal to negative 8. So I've taken this mess and put it right here. I've taken this mess and put it right here. Add 3 to both sides, and I get negative 8 is less than or equal to y. Add 3 to both sides. Y is less than or equal to negative 5. So I need to rewrite this as negative 8 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to negative 5. And I've got 0 over here, negative 5, and negative 8. And these are both included because they're both or equals to. Y is greater than negative 8. Y is less than negative 5. And there is my answer for that one. Let's do a couple more U tries. Oh, look at this. 3 more U tries for the and then we'll be done. Oh wait, I'm going to do an example first. X is less than 2, or x is less than or equal to negative 1. All right, so you might see something that looks like this. You've got this or in the middle here. And so what we do with that, we just graph this. I find here's 0, here's negative 1, and here's positive 2. Okay, x is greater than 2. So here's 2. I have an open circle because 2 is not included in this solution. X is greater than that. Here's negative 1. Negative 1 is included in this solution. X is less than negative 1, so I have arrows going off that direction. So I've got an arrow going off to the left, arrow going off to the right. More often than not, if it says or, that's the way your arrows are going to go. So you try this one. A plus 1 is less than 4, or A minus 1 is greater than or equal to 3. All right, do that one. Go ahead and pause and get to work. All right, see how I did. I'm going to add 1 to both sides, subtract 1 from both sides here. So A is less than 4 minus 1, which is 3, or I'm going to add 1 to both sides. A is greater than or equal to 4. Okay. Here's 0, here's 3, here's 4. 3 is not included. A is less than 3. 4 is included. What did I say? A is included. 3 is not included. 4 is included. And A is greater than 4. There we go. One last U try. Negative 2m plus 7 is less than or equal to 13, or 5m plus 12 is greater than or equal to 37. You're going to get something a little bit weird on this one that you're not going to see very often. But go ahead and you try it, and then we'll see how you do. Go. Okay, let's see how you did. So first here I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. I get negative 2m is less than or equal to 13 minus 7, which is 6. Then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. When I divide, I need to flip this sign. M is greater than or equal to negative 3. All right, got that there. Now let's do this one. Subtract 12 from both sides. 5m is greater than 37 minus 12, which is 25. Divide both sides by 5. M is greater than 5. Okay, let's graph these. I've got 0 here. I've got negative 3 here, and I've got positive 5 here. So negative 3 is included, and m is greater than negative 3. So I'm going to start this going. Notice how it's going toward this 5, which is something we haven't had with these ors yet. And you're not going to see very often at all with or, but you might see it here and there, and maybe on the test. M is greater than 5. So I have an open circle, because 5 is not included here, and m is greater than 5. So notice how these arrows are both going the same direction, and this one from the left bulldozes this one that is not included here on the right, and it just goes right through it, and this is called a union. And you might see this on the test, if I remember correctly. And that is the end of 5-4.